your home with BuildAid on Mix 93.8. Proudly brought to you by AfriSam. AfriSam, creating concrete possibilities.
BuildAid on Mix 93.8 FM. Walter Dellerba from BSH Home Appliances. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, listeners.
And thanks for coming to chat to us, Walter.
No problem.
We always like to get a little bit of a background on the company and what you've done and so on. And BSH is derived from Bosch, Siemens. And most people have heard of Bosch and Siemens. Bit of background.
Sure, goes way back, probably 80 years plus. That the company has been producing appliances, very premium products. But Bosch and Siemens, I've had the opportunity to train overseas and had some training. And part of the training is there's something they say where you're never more than 20 meters away from a Bosch or Siemens branded product, whether it be in your cars. Your mobile phones have Bosch chips in them. So we're actually a multi-discipline company and have our sort of technology in a lot of things. In BSH is particularly in appliances, so Bosch, Siemens, home appliances. And producing probably 20 brands of appliances. We just bring sort of 3 into the country.
Is there a tie-up to Bosch motor vehicle spares and Bosch
We
power
all fall
tools?
under the same umbrella, essentially, yeah.
Okay.
It's part of the same holding companies, but we're different divisions and so forth, so yeah.
So right up there, it must be a giant of a company.
Yeah, we're huge. Yeah, absolutely.
What we're going to be chatting about with Walter is appliances in the kitchen. And we sometimes don't understand what goes into a kitchen, particularly when you're building a new home and you have the opportunity to plan and spend time on planning. So Walter, what we want to chat about first is when should someone look at the appliances you're going to use in a new kitchen?
I think relatively soon in the decision of anything. Build your kitchen around the appliances as opposed to the other way around. Consult with people like myself at the company, perhaps your kitchen companies who have a bit of knowledge, and get an understanding of how you cook, what appliances are going to be necessary in your new home. And that way, when you are going to design your kitchen, you already know you need a steam oven, an oven, hobs, and whatever it is. And therefore, it can be done based around that and position them in the best place, essentially.
As a homeowner in a new home, or designing a new home rather, your first point of contact would probably be the architect, and then discussions with the kitchen company that are going to put the cupboards and the drawers and so on together. Yeah,
so it will filter through, I suppose. Once you've got your drawings, you would go to your specialists in different fields. So a bathroom specialist, a kitchen specialist to design kitchens, and therefore your BRCs or your built-in cupboards. And they can help you with the design, placement of points, of electric points, water points, all these kind of things, which are quite important. And the kitchen company knows the products better and therefore where to put them, not that you have products protruding because of plug points that are in the wrong place. And an architect just does a rough idea, I would imagine. He's not too specific because he doesn't know what appliances have been chosen either. And I think that's where it needs to tie up and knowledge.
And unfortunately, in too many cases, the home is, they've started building, they even have the roof on, and the kitchen company hasn't been approached yet. Yeah. So the architect might have said, I think this is the general layout, and I think the sink should be here and so on, and it fits in with the rest of the design. But only until you've spoken to an Easy Life Kitchens or someone like that, or a company like that, do you really know where all these things are going to go.
Yeah, and I mean, they can go with a design to an architect already, in a sense, get a basic idea of size and floor and what appliances are necessary, and then work around that just to get it fine-tuned so it's perfect. I mean, there's a lot of things to consider in a kitchen, let alone in a home, and therefore it needs to be perfect.
There are so many trades involved in the kitchen, involved with appliances as well. The electrician is an obvious one, but the plumber is another trade. It's another company or organization
Absolutely,
or person that needs to come and put pipes in. And sometimes a fridge, if it's going to make ice, it needs water.
Correct.
If you're going to have a gas hob, it needs a gas point. So there's another contractor.
And steam ovens now will need plumbing to some degree. So one of our brands would require plumbing and steam. So these are all things that absolutely need to be decided. Extraction, that's another big one which needs to be decided upon. A lot of the times the house's slabs have been laid and you want an island extractor or a ceiling extractor. Can you duct out? No, because they've run a slab already. So that's things that should have been planned and should have been ducting, should have been in place and thought of before this was all done. Yeah. So planning.
Well, so just on the extractor, often if you look at a drawing that's been put together, there may be a cross or some indication that there's something happening around the hob, but it hasn't been thought through properly. And if you're going to extract it, in other words, push the air out to the outside of the building, that needs a bit of planning.
Yeah, first
and a
prize.
Space to put the duct.
Absolutely. So first prize is to extract out if you can. It does the best job. It's the most efficient and the most effective. There are alternatives to it, but it becomes an afterthought. So best is to understand, again, chatting to people like myself and the appliance company, see what technology is there, and plan for ducting, plan for what you're going to be doing. If it's going to be extractors that come out of your worktops, lift extractors, then that's, you need to plan for that. You might need to cut into the slab or into the floor.
We're going to touch on technology later in the show, but when we're looking at this planning, we've already discussed gas, plumber, electrician. There's also lighting. Lighting's critical in a kitchen, but there's also home automation that starts to come into play that one needs to consider. But we're going to chat about that a little later. We also have a question from Peter that we're going to answer when we come back. Kay, how are we doing with the question?
Wow, who thought there were so many songs about rain that I didn't think of? So the ones that I'm not looking for are Raining Again, Supertramp, Raining Men from A Lot of Women, and I love that song. It's not quite a rock song. Saul says Toto, Rains in Africa, and none of those are correct. But Lindsay, Shane, Kathy, Vince, and Trevor have got a couple correct. And just incidentally, Trevor says, shout out to Ashley at BSH. He's a kitchen designer and he's never got better service than from Ashley. So well done, Ashley. So we're looking for songs about rain, and I've got 10 of them in my head. And if you guess 2 of them, you can stand a chance to win some delicious ice cream. SMS us on 41348.
My name's Graham Alexander. I'm chatting to Walter Dellerba. We're chatting about kitchens, kitchen appliances. But a general building question has come in from Maria. She's asked the best way to put up a double story using steel frame. And I think we did a show with Saint Cobain. And maybe if you want to go to BuildAid on YouTube, and you can flick through there and watch the show that we did. Alternatively, give them a buzz. Gyprock. They're part of the Saint Cobain group. They are very, very helpful. They have a technical department, but you can do a double story in steel frame, no question. Right, back to kitchens. Something that you guys also provide is home demos.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be quite daunting to look at all our amazing new technologies and wonder what button does what. So if purchasing a full kitchen, we will send out someone to give you a home demonstration on the products. If you forget what we taught you in the home demonstration, our products have got assisting programs in them, so they can almost cook for you. So if the mother-in-law's coming around, you've got some assisting programs there that can help you without burning the food. So, but yeah, home demos. That's
is it also free?
Absolutely.
We all these good things are free.
Yeah, purchasing our products, we do the home demos. Yeah. It's part of our services. Yeah.
I mentioned that we do a lot of seminars and workshops with homeowners and so on, and we obviously collaborate a lot with suppliers like and manufacturers like yourselves. It's actually amazing how much information's out there and what people are prepared to do for you for free. It's the message is actually to say plan properly. Take a bit more time, plan properly, and you can do most of it for free. It just takes a bit more time. When it comes to home automation and clever appliances and clever technology, what can we see in kitchen appliances and so on?
So with Siemens being our innovative brand and technology driven, and kind of all the sort of newer technologies get infiltrated into that brand first, there's a Home Connect that will be coming out in the future. Dates, I would imagine, quite far down the line, or not too far, maybe within the next year to 18 months, where your machines will talk to each other. You will have apps that can connect to your products, and perhaps the older generation may think, what's that all about? I don't need that. But the future customer essentially wants an app for everything, and our products will enable that. So you can start ovens if you're at work and you need to start something. You just can tell someone, put it in the oven and put your programs on and start the product. The fridges can tell you if there's a power failure, for instance. So it's all the smart technology that's going to be in a Home Connect system, talking to each other, all via apps and smartphones and stuff like that. So it's coming.
And on automation, your TV's talking to you, your lighting.
Absolutely.
You've got recognition on cameras, so when you get home, it can play your music and so on. Walter, before I say goodbye, let's check who won the ice cream.
Well, Lindsay was the very first person to get 2 of the answers correct, and then Trevor, because he tried so very hard. So I'm going to tell you the names of the songs that we had on our list. It's Rainy Day, Dream Away, and that's Jimi Hendrix Experience. Nobody got that. He's the very experienced dude. Let It Rain, Eric Clapton. Rainy Day Woman, Bob Dylan. Riders on the Storm, The Doors. Most of you got that. Thunderstruck, AC/DC. Rock You Like a Hurricane, The Scorpions. Rain, The Beatles. Have You Ever Seen the Rain? CCR, a lot of you got that. November Rain, Guns N' Roses. And Fool in the Rain, Led Zeppelin. We played it last week if you were listening. So well done to Lindsay and Trevor. We'll get hold of you to get your ice cream to you.
There's some great music there. Walter, thank you so much for coming to chat to us. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
I look forward to doing it again.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. And listeners, please give us a chance to chat to you and give you some free advice.
Fantastic. Thank you to Kay and to Simon and to Ian for videoing the show. Thanks, guys. We do this every Wednesday between 6 and 7. Talk to you next week. Ciao.
With BuildAid on Mix brings you all sorts of interesting info about building. Graham Alexander chats to different guests every Wednesday evening between 6 and 7. Proudly brought to you by AfriSam. AfriSam, creating concrete possibilities.